and gentlemen, once again, this is Jeremy Smith. Okay guys, this is something that we've done in the past. I did it with the Sigma 85mm 1.4 art, so I figured I would give it a go with this lens as well. We kind of did this sort of thing where I did sort of an initial sort of first look at the lens, and then later on we went out into the field and gave it a more proper test. So today I figured that with another popular lens that a lot of people have been waiting for, it would be appropriate to do the same thing. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tamron 70-200 VC G2. My goodness, these lenses get a longer and longer name as the time goes by. And I even left 2.8 out of its name, so it's even longer. But anyways, this is a lens that a lot of people have been waiting on. The cool thing about this lens is that it is much less expensive than the Canon and Nikon counterparts. And so I kind of was eager to show you guys this, and I knew a lot of people would be waiting on this video. Now, I am shooting this video the same way that I shot the Sigma 85 1.4 video. I'm using my iPhone 7 Plus, and today I wanted to do a little bit different. Let me know how this video sounds, because I got this cool product from Sennheiser called the clip mic that I am using to actually film all the, or to record all the sound. So let me know how that is. But anyways, on to this lens. The first thing I noticed about this lens whenever I took it out of the box is that it has the same aesthetic as all of Tamron's newer lenses. It's kind of this sort of, it's a very, very solid feel, but it does have a sort of fingerprint magnet sort of finish on it, which, I don't know, it's not a bad thing. I do kind of wish it was more of a textured finish, but it does feel solid indeed. It is a 77mm filter size, which is something that I like to see, because unfortunately on some of the lenses now they're getting a little bit larger. Taking a look at the back of the lens, we also see that we have some weather sealing on it for a change, so that's something else that Tamron and Sigma, they seem to be sort of stepping their game up with there. So very good to see that make a debut. The other thing about this lens, even though this is not something I use a lot personally, I noticed that this lens has an Arca Swiss mount built right into the foot here. So if you have an Arca Swiss compatible ball head on your tripod, you can click this right in. You don't have to worry about any adapter plates or anything. The collar seems to come off easy enough if you don't actually want to use it. It still feels very, very solid, but I do notice that it's a little bit lighter in weight than on the previous lens, which, hey, I'm all about some weight savings. Looking over at the side of the lens, I noticed that we have a few additional switches here. So we have our focus limiter right there, we have our autofocus and manual focus, our VC on and off, and then on this lens we have actually 3 different modes on the VC, which is a little bit different. And frankly, I haven't memorized all those modes yet, but I did have to have a look at the manual. I'll put that on the screen. In shooting with this lens, obviously I haven't had enough time to shoot with it a whole lot yet, but I did shoot with it just a bit, and what I did come up with so far is that this lens gives me the ability to actually focus much, much closer than the previous version, but we don't have as much of the focus breathing issue. At least I don't see a whole lot of it so far. So that's very, very nice, because you can shoot at 200mm on a subject that's very close to you, and you can still get them really filled in the frame and not have to worry about not being able to get enough reach. It seems to be very, very sharp as well, even wide open. And of course, we'll look at that more in a future video. The biggest thing though that I noticed on this lens actually is not the build or the sharpness or the lack of focus breathing or any of that stuff. The biggest thing that I noticed on this lens is the focus speed. It seems to be much, much faster than previous lenses in this range. Back in the day, the Tamron lenses, you know, I've always had good success with them as far as sharpness, but back in the day, a lot of them were just god-awful slow to focus. These 70-200 2.8 VC, just prior to this one, was much better in that regard, but this one takes it to a whole new level. So if you shoot any type of action and you want that very fast and accurate autofocus, this lens seems to deliver. Of course, more testing we'll be able to tell in the future. Naturally, in a future video, I'm going to be comparing this lens to something like, say, I don't know, Nikon's new 70-200E that we looked at, the EFL as it is. We'll take a look at that one. We'll probably do some comparisons with the older Nikon 70-200 too. But anyways, guys, tell me what else you'd like to see me compare this lens to, and let me know what type of testing you'd like to see, because I love getting the feedback, and of course I have a great time making all sorts of different videos for you guys to see. Anyways, this is about all for this one. Don't forget to follow me on social media, and definitely be sure to subscribe, because I'm sure we will be seeing this lens very soon in the not so distant future. Until next time, guys, this is Jeremy Smith signing off.